It's the Coach So You Know, and this is our Devolution cool down. So this goes after all of our FOSS training programs. You're always going to start from standing when you do this cool down, a couple standing stretches, and then we're going to work our way down to the floor. So this first move is going to be known as church bells. When I get church bells, it's going to be for the hamstrings, back of the legs. I'm going to take my stance, put it nice and wide. I'm not trying to do a full split, but I'm trying to be outside of my hips. I'm going to cross my arms, and then I'm just going to let my arms hang down here, nice and flat. And if I feel comfortable with it, I'm going to get this stretch nice and easy, side to side. Now when I go in here, the way that we're going to measure all this is by our breath. So in the warm-up, we did it by a rep count. In the cool-down, we're going to do it by a breath count. So when we do this breath count, it's going to be by 7 breaths. So you're thinking, that'd be 1, and then we're going to go for 7. So if I do this first, just trying to keep my legs relatively straight. If my knees bend a little bit, when I rock to them, that's fine. We're just trying to slowly stretch them out, get them to relax after getting some good work. Good, then you slowly come up from that. If you feel more comfortable using a timer instead of just your breath, you're more than welcome to set a timer. It's probably going to be somewhere around 20 or 25 seconds per stretch. This next one we're going to get is that standing quad stretch. So I'm going to find a piece of my wall here for a little bit of balance. You can always do it freestanding if you don't have a wall, or use a stable chair. I'm going to take one hand on. I'm going to grab my ankle. I'm going to keep my knees nice and in line. I'm going to push my hips forward. So I'm just trying to get this stretch on the front of my leg or your quadricep. After that, I'm going to do the same rule. I'm going to take 7 nice steady breaths. They're going about 20 to 25 seconds. And then I'm going to switch. You'll notice when a lot of people do this, they kind of get relaxed and they just sort of hang out in here and pull this, which doesn't really do anything for you. So if they're pretty tight, it might feel a little bit of pain, but remember, just try to breathe through it best you can. We're trying to get that muscle to relax. Good. After that little bit of time, go over to the other side the same way. Hit the other leg again, knees in line. Try to keep my chest nice and tall. That helps me kind of push my hips forward, because if I crunch all in here, we're not really stretching anything on the front side of the body. Just a couple more stretches, a couple more breaths. Good. This next one we're going to go to is we're going to go to a downward dog and upward dog. So we're going to do this downward dog stretch first. You go this downward dog stretch, I'm going to bring my hands towards the floor. I'm going to put my feet back, nice and simple. I'm trying to keep my arms and legs straight, pushing my chest towards my feet. I'm going to try to breathe in here for 7 breaths. The object when you do this stretch is you're trying to slowly relax your heels so they get close to the ground. My legs are a little bit tight right now, so they're not quite touching, but you just try to breathe them, relax your heels to the floor. From there, you move your feet a little bit more back, still keeping your toes underneath you. You're going to bring your hips down, bring your knees down if you like. You're going to try to keep your chest nice and tall. This is upward dog. We're going to breathe for 7 breaths in here. Make sure the biggest thing that you watch out for here is you keep your chest out, and you also want to keep your head out of your neck. It's very easy to kind of relax your neck in here. If I show you from a front angle so you can kind of see it a little bit more, you don't want to be in here. You want to keep your neck and head out of your shoulders. This helps us get a little bit less tension in the neck when we do this stretch. Good. Okay. From there, after we get that down dog and up dog. You're next gonna go to this deep lean and rock. When I get this deep lean and rock, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna try to keep my hands right here on the floor. I'm gonna keep my foot right here on this side, and I'm gonna kind of push my hips. I'm gonna sort of push a little bit forward into the mat for 3 seconds. And then I'm gonna try to walk my way back for 3 seconds, just right in there. So go forward, and go back. Now I know I said that most of your reps are gonna be based on your breath, but you can still do it this way as well. So if I'm getting 7 breaths on this side, I'm gonna inhale when I do this part of the stretch, exhale when I do that part of the stretch. Okay, just a few more here. I'll make sure to show you a side angle view as well, of a different angle, just in case you're not quite getting the idea of it. Here we go here. Stretch back. Okay. Other side, I'm gonna go the same way. I'm gonna stay on the same side. Remember, my hands stay down. I'm gonna push my hips forward. And then stretch back. So this stretches a little more on the back of that leg that we could use. This gets a little deeper stretch in that hip. Notice when you bring your leg straight back on that rock that you point your toes, I'm sorry, my toes are a little dirty, but pointing your toes up towards the sky, and then you plant your feet on the way back down. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, again, just a couple more. Very nice. Okay. From here, we're going to stretch a little bit more of those shoulder blades apart. In our warm-up, we did a bit more of that needle sort of move, and in our cool down, we're actually going to hold that needle stretch. So, I'll do one time, I'll do it facing this side. You're gonna take your hand on one side, reach it all the way through, and you're trying to open up nice and easy in your shoulder blades here. And you're just trying to breathe in this for 7 breaths. I'll do it the other side so you can kind of look at my back, and you're able to see, able to watch as the shoulder blades separate away from each other. Good. Slowly switch sides. I'm going to show you a front view as well, just so you get the idea. I go in here, I'm going to reach through. I'm going to try to relax this shoulder to the ground. Good, and then you slowly come out of that stretch, remembering to take nice, deep breaths on that stretch so we can get your rib cage to open up, trying to relax all those small muscles that are underneath your shoulder blades. This next one here is going to be a figure 4 stretch. Now I want to let you know there is an alternative stretch. I'm going to put that stretch also in a little box in the bottom, just to make sure if you feel like you're not getting enough stretch from this one on the back of your legs, that you can do this other stretch, which is known as a pigeon pose, that you can do as well. But if we're doing this figure 4 today, when you get this figure 4, what I'm going to want you to do is you're going to slowly go down to your back, and we're going to take one leg and we're going to cross it over the other one. After I do that, you're going to take your hands, reach through, grab the back of your leg, and relax your head and neck. I know that's a lot, but let me just show you here just because I wanted to give the explanation before I start doing it. So, if I do this move right here, I'm laying back. I'm going to take one of my legs, whichever one you like to first, cross it over just below my knee, and now I have this hole right here in my leg. I'm going to wrap my hands around my leg, and then I'm going to pull it into myself. If you get this stretch right, on this bent leg at the back side, you'll kind of feel a big stretch right in there, right around that glute or the back of that leg. For bonus points, you can keep this other leg nice and straight, and you can point your big toe of this straight leg towards your face. That's going to stretch a little bit more of your calf, right here on the lower part of your leg. And then 7 breaths, same way. For time's sake, I'm just going to get a couple more breaths. Good. You're going to get the same thing the other side. I'm going to show you a little bit more from this side angle instead. I'm going to take the same thing. I'm taking my opposite leg, put it just below my knee on top. I'm going to reach through that same hole. I'm going to grab and pull. Remember, you don't have to point this leg if it's too much. You can let it relax, but if you want to get the most out of each stretch, follow along with these instructions, making that leg straight, really pulling this leg in towards your body. Each time you exhale, trying to relax. Good. Slowly come out of that. We're at our final move. Our final move is going to be this knee cross. All that we're gonna do is you're gonna lie flat back on your mat. I'm gonna take one leg, I'm gonna cross it just over my leg like this, and then I'm gonna tilt towards that side. So I'll make sure you can see right there around my feet. I'm gonna take my hands straight out to the sides, making a big T with my body. And I'm gonna take one foot, put it on the outside of this leg, and then I'm gonna lean that knee towards this opposite side. What that's gonna do is that's gonna get a nice big stretch that goes kind of along my back a little bit, going all the way through right here. Now, if you're doing this and you're saying, Coach Zoe, I don't really feel any stretch at all, I feel like I'm just twisting and just hanging out on the floor, well, look at the upper part of your body. You wanna try to keep your shoulder blades flat, as flat as you can to the ground. If you can do that and still try to track this knee over, you can push it a little bit more if you want a little more stretch. I promise you, you get something out of it for sure. So, take that, keep it going all the way across your body. Same idea, we're gonna get 7 breaths. For time's sake, I'm just gonna get a few more in here. Okay, same bit, come out of that stretch slowly. We're gonna get the same thing the other side, crossing that foot on the outside of that leg. I'm gonna keep my shoulder blades nice and even. If I need it, I'm gonna take this hand, pull that knee a little bit more across my body. Trying to get it to relax, sort of fall down to the ground. Just a couple more breaths. Nice and easy out. Okay, you've completed that cool down. Nice job. Get on with the rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Continue to explore movement.